The common methods with which these people kind of influence us are, like, let's say, through our own fear or greed. I think if one wants to influence, it should be to help them break their limitations. All of us are craving for an independent life, wherein, like, that dream is sold to us that one day when you have a shit ton of money, you will be able to just kind of live your life on your own terms, right? I think the most appealing thing for that line of thinking is the freedom to do what you want, where you want, and how you do it specifically. Yo guys, namaskaram. So today I wanted to talk about specifically a thing that I've been thinking about lately. I think a lot of us kind of suffer from it. It's basically having a certain fear around, let's say, our professional lives, because all of us mostly like are kind of working in some organization or something, right? So I was just kind of thinking about it lately and just wanted to give some honest opinions and perspectives around certain things. So fundamentally, I think all of us are craving for an independent life, wherein, like, that dream is sold to us that one day when you have a shit ton of money, you will be able to just kind of live your life on your own terms, right? I think the most appealing thing for that line of thinking is the freedom to do what you want, where you want, and how you do it specifically. So I think the core tenet that we are all kind of striving for in one sense is just having an independent life. The reason we become enslaved to a job, or let's say there's such a sense of fear in us, is because we become dependent on our bosses or on the organization for some weird reasons. Now, it could be basically just living on that paycheck to paycheck, because on your personal level you have bonded yourself on so many levels, on so many responsibilities that you shouldn't have taken and which you have. Or let's say you're just living a lifestyle which demands that monthly paycheck to paycheck, right? So fundamentally it's your own greed, it's your own desire for more, which is kind of making you dependent on the organization in one sense, right? I think a lot of people, or let's say the closest which I've come to in my research, which is, like, I think beautifully portrayed in the Hindu philosophy, is just having a higher purpose in life. Nishkarm Karm Yoga, I think that's how we pronounce it. Basically, just doing the action not for yourself, but for that higher being, higher purpose, whatever that is. That could be anything for that matter. I think all of us do have a mission in life, and we do want to prove our worth, prove our mettle in some way or another. So I think just finding that purpose or just grinding towards that on one sense is how the solution to this problem lies in a long term thinking. So when you feel pissed, like, just start working on that mission. Try to empower lives through your own personal work. Now, here's a harsh truth, right? Like, your boss wouldn't care. Like, he just wanted to do that 10 to 20 minute shit talking which he wanted to do with you, and just he moved on. We, on the other hand, take so much stress because of that, that it ruins our days, even our lives, and it creates a lot of health issues, right? Mental health, which then kind of manifests into a physical health. If you die tomorrow, like, instantly will be replaced. When others are blind, they expect you to be blind. The important part is you open your eyes and just walk your own path. When you start progressing on a path that is different from the crowd, a lot of things happen. You're looking to go against your evolutionary biology while standing your ground as an individual. You might observe it in your daily life that the people who critique you the most on your qualities are the only qualities worth having. I had read it somewhere, I think it was by Robin Sharma, that the people who mock you for your differences are usually the things that they're kind of insecure about, something on those tangents. Has anything special been gained while walking the path of the crowd, or let's say while walking with the crowd? In the average sense, people just use, like, fear, greed, or excessive desire to make you like them. It's the ego which makes up the average population, right? Who just likes to comment a lot of shit without doing anything of worth in their lives. Those people don't know anything about you. You know everything about yourself, at least much more deeply than other people. And that's a journey which I think everyone should strive to undertake. If one is just, like, running after money, that's a life bereft of love. It has not felt doing anything worth significant in their life except for this pursuit of chasing money. Now, I know it's important to chase money, but becoming like a psychological madman just in that pursuit is something very disturbing. Because how how can we make money? Like, from what sources can we pivot money? What's the margin? Like, that's such a rudimentary way of living life, just seeing life in numbers. The common methods with which these people kind of influence us are, like, let's say, through our own fear or greed. I think if one wants to influence, it should be to help them break their limitations. A person can only walk the extra mile if he feels a personal sense of belonging, a personal calling to that specific thing which he is doing. So I think all of us require that level of work in our lives. Now I know that it's important to put food on the table and all of that, and it's okay. We can diplomatically maneuver, but the aim here is to just not kind of get into that rut, right? Like living paycheck to paycheck, increasing your living standards just because everyone around you is doing or everyone expects you to be. I've met a lot of people who regret being married to the person just because they were influenced by their parents, by their society to walk that path, and they themselves did not wanted to walk that path. The most important thing is having that determination to trust yourself, to love yourself. It's very hard. We are very unsure about loving ourselves because all our patterns from our childhood have basically just been around fear, right? People have just taught us fear from the start. Like, people are being rewarded one, two, three, like the only top three people would be rewarded. It creates a certain expectation without the individual to blossom on their own accord. I think acting in the spirit of devotion, acting for that higher self, whatever that is, acting for the love of God, or let's say for the sake of God, is the only way through which we can just remove all that stress, worry, anxiety. Like, think of it like this, right? Life is limited. Like, the seconds if you have come here, like listening to this, is limited. No matter if I put my entire wealth to just gain 1 second back of this precious life, I wouldn't get that. Should I waste my entire life worrying, stressing about things that are not in my control? Or should I just replace that stress, anxiety with joy of being alive and just being able to do something of value in this world if I can? I think just acting from that spirit of higher self is what we all need. Anyhow, let me know what you feel about it. And recently, our channel blew up to 500 plus subs. So that was like a very big motivator for me. And I thank you all if you are kind of supporting me, because it takes a lot of hard work to kind of put out this content. And sometimes I just want to now push out content in the most realist and rawest form without a lot of editing, just so we can at least get some of my perspectives out there, or like learn with you all in this pursuit of life, because it is limited. No matter how much we would want to try to get this back, it is limited. But yeah, thank you for listening. I'll keep out churning more and more videos. Let me know what you feel about this type of format. I've tried to change some things in the background, added some new things to my setup, but yeah, that's how it is. Anyhow, this is Debashish Pindra from Debu Ki Dastak signing off. Cheers.